Chris Haynes, senior NBA insider, soon to launch Haynes Briefs YouTube show. Haynes Briefs. How about a round of applause for that, Chris Haynes? I like that. Haynes Briefs. Haynes Briefs. Haynes Briefs.
Talking about the Haynes report.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Of course. I remember that shit.
All right, thank you for coming on again and watching the Haynes Brief Show here on YouTube. Again, please share, comment, subscribe, and put us on instant notifications so you can be notified immediately when we drop new episodes. I dropped the episode last night on Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks. I reported that the Bucks reached out to Giannis Saturday morning, and a meeting is scheduled for them to meet up mid this week. And so that's going to be a very pivotal and crucial meeting that could have significant ripple effects across the league, depending on what happens and what is said in that meeting. So go check that episode out, get more information on that. Again, please comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you. So for today, let's get back on the Suns. I've been spending a lot of time on the Suns over the last few months, and for very good reason. There's a lot going on over there in Phoenix. But as of right now, the coaching search is underway. And the Suns have a new general manager, Brian Gregory, who has taken over for James Jones. He's running the show over there. He's running the coaching search. And those who aren't familiar with Brian Gregory, long-time coach in the college ranks, a really good coach. You hear a lot of good things about him during his time. His coaching profession spans over 3 decades, assistant coach and head coach in college for 20 plus years. So this is a guy who is, this is his expertise in the coaching ranks. So he's running the show. And so what I can report is the second round is about to start. Suns have interviewed tons of candidates. But now the list has shrunk down to the second round field of 8 candidates. And so here are the 8 candidates who have made it to the second round. I'm about to report 8 names who have advanced to the second round of the Suns coaching search for the next head coach of the franchise. Number 1, we're going to start with Dallas Mavericks assistant Sean Sweeney. Sean Sweeney, a longtime assistant. He's somebody who is well respected across the league, spent time with multiple stars. He understands the relationship dynamic that takes. So Sean Sweeney has advanced to the second round. Number 2, Suns assistant coach David Fizdale. David Fizdale has advanced to the second round. Somebody who, again, longtime assistant coach. He's had some head coaching stints as well. He's somebody who, a few years back, turned down the Suns head coaching job when the previous owner was there, Robert Sarver. And he ended up going to the New York Knicks and taking that head coaching job. But he's somebody who's been around a long time, great assistant coach, has a great relationship with star players. He's up there. Pelicans assistant James Borrego. He's a guy who has head coaching experience as well. Longtime assistant, has done a phenomenal job. Has a great relationship, well respected guy. Cavs assistant coach Johnny Bryant. He's somebody who we've always known one day is going to be a head coach in the NBA. Has done a phenomenal job in New York, Cleveland Cavaliers. He is definitely somebody who is knocking at the door, and sooner or later that door is going to open wide open for him to take a head coaching seat, and it could be in Phoenix. The other candidate, Cavs assistant coach Jordan Ott. Again, longtime assistant coach, well respected, great player, great in player development. He's expanded his role since as he's elevated. He was an assistant coach with the Lakers as well. Nets assistant coach Steve Hetzel. He's with the Nets right now, but prior to that, he was with the Portland Trail Blazers. I know from talking with Damian Lillard, when Damian Lillard was in Portland, he raved about Steve. And so this is another longtime assistant coach who is, again, knocking at the door. T-Wolves assistant Micah Nori. We all, Micah, he's right now working for the Minnesota Timberwolves. So they're waiting on their opponent right now. They're in the Western Conference Finals. Michael Norrie, man, he's a really good. He right now, his role in Minnesota, he pretty much does it all. But he does game management, substitution patterns, and things like that. But he's a really bright guy, and he's a really great and funny interview. He just gives the best interview. Whenever Finch is kicked out the game, he may step in and be the interim coach for that game, and he just gives the greatest interviews. He's going to be a prize for sure. And lastly, this is the 8th candidate who has advanced to the second round of the Suns head coaching search, Thunder assistant Dave Bliss. Again, somebody who was well respected, has worked his way up from the bottom to be in position to be a prime candidate for a head coaching job. So all these guys are very qualified, they're very ready and very eager to take that next step. But if you look at the list of these guys, so this eight candidates right here. If you look at these guys, right, you have the oldest candidates are Timberwolves assistant Michael Norrie, who is 51, David Fizdale, who is 50, and James Borrego, who is 47. Now, the rest of those guys are early 40s, late 30s. So this is a young batch of guys. And you ask, well, why so young? Why so inexperienced when it comes to, I guess, the head coaching tenure? Well, these are some of the things that the Suns are looking for in the next candidate. And these are guidelines in which the front office has relayed to these coaching candidates of what they're looking for. Number one, they want the next coach to build a program from scratch, where that's going to consist of holding guys accountable, implementing a structure, and making sure there's discipline within the franchise when it comes to the players in the program. Number two, they want to make sure that the coach's philosophy aligns with ownership and with the front office. 3, defensive background. That is important, a defensive background. So even if you're not somebody who is specialized in defense, they want to know your defensive philosophy. And also, if you were to get the job, who would be your defensive guy? Who would be somebody that you would delegate to hold that responsibility? Number 4, young coach, they're looking for somebody with youth and not necessarily age, although age is definitely a factor, but just a youthful exuberance. Somebody that can come in and just have a lot of energy, and someone who can definitely relate to the players. And we've seen over the last few years that has been an issue with the Suns head coaches and how they related to the players. And number 5, connecting with the stars. And again, connecting with the stars. That can be stars that are on the roster now or stars that's going to be on the roster in the near future. But connecting with stars is going to be key, right? So, I reported about a month ago or so that the Suns want to see who they hire first. They want to see who is going to be the next hire before they decide what they're going to do ultimately with Kevin Durant. And so, having a coach to come in who may have a strong relationship with Kevin Durant or may hit it off with Kevin Durant or Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, that's going to be key to seeing what's going to be next from a transactional standpoint for the organization this offseason. So, those are kind of the building blocks, and that is the philosophy of the ownership and front office. That's what they're telling these coaching candidates who have made it to the second round. These are the things they're looking for to build a program, making sure your philosophy aligns with the ownership and the front office, having a defensive background or showcasing that you can implement a top-notch defense, holding guys accountable, a youthful spirit, and connecting with the stars. And so this is going to be interesting. And one thing, so Matt Ishbia, the owner of the Suns, Michigan State, played at Michigan State. And there are 2 coaches on this, 2 coaching candidates on this list of 8 who are Michigan State alums. That would be Jordan Ott, Cavs assistant, and Nets assistant Steve Hetzel. So you could assume that Matt Ishbia knows those guys pretty well. He's pretty up to date on those guys. And another thing, out of these 8 candidates, only 2 of these candidates have had head coaching experience, and that is David Fizdale and James Borrego. So again, a very youthful list, but this is a list that is well respected. These guys have earned the right to be in this position. So ultimately, we're going to see what's going to happen from here. But this is what I can report. These 8 names have advanced to the second round of the Phoenix Suns head coaching search. So that's all I have for today. We'll have plenty more as the playoffs wrap up, as more things start to transpire. So please continue to tune in, share, subscribe, and comment. Put us on instant notifications. And thank you for your time. This is Haynes Briefs. Take care.